Times have changed in the wrestling business from when I was watching it in the 80s. When I was a little kid, I used to watch WWF, and not really a WCW fan. I didn't become a WCW fan until like maybe a year before the NWO came out because I saw the likes of Sting in there, and I was just like, that's a wrestler right there. And I became a huge Sting fan. So if you think about, for me, when the change of the everything, you started off with the Federation years into the Attitude Era until the Ruthless Aggression, and now it's the Reality Era. Well, for me, it was when I was a kid, the 80s, it was WrestleMania. I've seen all the WrestleManias, so probably was Hogan versus Macho Man was the one that really drew me in. And my growing up, I was always rooted for the good guys. Never really rooted for any of the bad guys until I got a little bit older. It's like right now, Roddy Piper, and he's the ultimate villain. I liked him as a bad guy. If you remember, he took that coconut and hit Jimmy Snuka in the head, and that was real. Piper, I think it was reality before reality even hit mainstream. I mean, he told it like it is, and he's going to do it. So then when the Attitude Era came, it was like, oh, you had to be a DX fan, and I'm over there. Yeah, I like their stuff, but I was more into like all the hardcore stuff. Like right around then, it was ECW was around, and I liked the hardcore wrestling, and I was saying to myself, and this was earlier today, I can't believe I was force-fed who to like and who to hate, and why can't I make my own decision? And when ECW came around, it was who I liked. It didn't matter if they were good or bad, and I got so sick and tired of being force-fed everything. Another thing was like, I'm a Shawn Michaels fan, and I liked him better when he was a bad guy and Kevin Nash came out and he was a sensational Sherry, and I really wasn't a Sunny fan, but a lot of my friends were. I something about her I don't like. I liked the like Luna Vachon and Sherry Martel, sensational Sherry, whatever you want to call her. I was more into the bad girl than being the girl next door, and Sunny just never did it for me. But in ECW, it was always Beulah McGillicuddy. And, then Lita went in WCW, and I said, oh, I like that. She was known as Miss Congeniality with Raven, and I'm like, yep, I like that. That's, she's going to go far in the business. And she did. She's a Hall of Famer. And like I said, as being a kid, I got sick and tired of being force-fed, and I made a decision like who I liked. Like, another bad guy I liked was Big Van Vader. Him and Harley Race. Harley Race, the team they had, it was a very good chemistry. So, I mean, there was rumors, and if someone wants to correct me if I'm wrong on this one, rumors saying that Big Van Vader was Harley Race's son. No. I don't see that, but I know he was a football player, so Leon Baby Bull White. For some reason that just stuck in my head, and it was from a friend of mine back home, because he always made fun of me, older guy, he always made fun of me for wearing a Diesel shirt, because I was a Diesel fan. Kevin Nash being, I liked him when he was Vinny Vegas, because talking about working those picket lines and cracking skulls, he made a good promo for trying to be an Italian gangster kind of deal with the Vegas lifestyle, which it worked. I mean, WCW was one of my I became more of a WCW fan than a WWF fan, and then when the WWE changed everything, or WWE changed from the WWF, I was just like, okay, and not seeing what we usually see. Like, I'm used to seeing Stone Cold Steve Austin, giving the bird to the boss and drinking beer, and yeah, Attitude Era, NWO coming out. It was good for its time, but it just, you have to go a new direction, which I understand. So, another thing is, my buddy and I were talking about, what was it? It was earlier today. It was one of the funniest things. We were talking about worst gimmicks, and when I was with PW Pop before they transformed, I was doing a worst gimmick contest, and my buddy says the worst gimmick he's ever seen was Bastion Booger. And I looked at him and I said, I can top you up. Dad, how about Minotaur in WCW? Then he says, well, did you know that the WWF had Mantar? Nah, I didn't even know about that. So I did some research on YouTube, and sure enough, there was a Mantar, and I'm going, well, geez, I love how people are just, stealing ideas and everything. But that's the way business is. I mean, how many times can you do a brother versus brother feud? Owen Hart, Bret Hart, the Armstrongs, I believe, did it. List can go on. But see, it was good for, like I said, it was good for his time, and now things are changing. I just saw NXT for the first time, and NXT reminds me of when Paul Heyman had ECW. It just was he saw talent in people, and that's how I am. I support the talent. I support the wrestlers. I don't know how to explain it. I want a good show. I don't want to be force-fed anything. But NXT, after first time seeing it, I go, well, yeah, it's kind of ECW. I like that. It's just like Ring of Honor. First time I saw that, they're kind of doing it the old ECW ways. And, I mean, I don't care if you guys agree with me or disagree with me with that. But if you look at, like, the camera footage, the way they do the angles, how they did the promos, and yeah, that was, like I said, ECW, and ECW was a stepping stone. I mean, I remember growing up, and I had to watch different promotions, like videotapes. I mean, it was RF video, and now you have more of a variety. There was a channel up in Illinois, and it was Channel 62, and they had shows like, a lot of people probably, hopefully some of you may remember, it was called Wrestling Spotlight, hosted by Gorilla Monsoon. It'd go Spotlight into USWA, into Smoky Mountain, and then AWF. It was like 4 hours of different promotions on that channel, and that was a channel that I had to take the antenna, and I had to angle it a certain way because it was more toward Gary, Indiana. It said Gary, Chicago, and I'm just like, okay. And back growing up, I had an antenna before a dish, and I had a whole thing where I can set the antenna pointing in a certain direction and get a clarity of a channel. So, yeah, I'm geeking. That's a major geek out right there. But I have a question for everyone that watches this. I mean, how did you find certain promotions? Did you wait, like, when the internet hit around? Did you guys like YouTube and put certain promotions down, or did you get our videos, which I was getting all the time? Because I remember the first tape I got was King of the Deathmatch with Cactus Jack and Terry Funk in the main event. I forgot which one it was, and there was another video I had was like Leatherface was in there from Japan. He was climbing an electrified fence and for a cage match, and there was so much stuff that was going on right when the internet was coming around, and like Blockbuster videos and Hollywood videos are no longer being around due to live streaming. That's what I was looking for. So, but like I said, how did you find out about certain promotions? What were some of the promotions you guys watched? Just put it in the comments down below, and I'd love to hear from you guys. So, and then there's so much that I want to spew out, but I'm already at 10 minutes right now. So, all I'm going to say is, Peace.